Hi and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have my final Serie A predictions. We just passed the midway point in the Serie A, so this is the perfect time to finalize my predictions. These are my last thoughts. Nothing can change from now. Make sure you let me know your predictions in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're so close to 30k. I'm hoping to hit 50k by the end of the year, so 30k soon come, hopefully. 70% of you watching haven't subscribed, so please subscribe. And make sure you like the video if you enjoyed, but let's get into it. The categories are simple. The champions, the winner, the best team in the league come the end of the season. Champions League, so 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Europe, 5th and 6th. Europa League, Conference League. 7th to 12th, mid-table, you did all right. Survival, 13th to 17th. You've just scraped it potentially by the skin of your teeth. But yeah, you're staying in the division, and then relegation, bottom 3. It's time to go. Shout out Claude. All right, starting with relegation, pretty simple. Pisa are going to finish dead last. They are the worst team in the division. They've only won one game all season. Their squad isn't good enough. There's no chance they're surviving. They are a Serie B team, but it was nice to see them in the league. Next team that's going down for me is Hellas Verona. I'm honestly glad if they go down because these guys here, I swear, they only take points from Juventus. Every single year, we somehow drop points to Verona. It's so frustrating. They got a couple good players like Orban. And in all fairness, in the last few months, their form has been okay. They beat Atalanta somehow. Then they managed to beat Fiorentina. And Fiorentina, them times, they were losing every game. I believe they held Napoli to a draw. So they could potentially just survive by the skin of their teeth, but I'm not too confident in them. They only have 2 wins all season. And the last team that's going down for me is actually quite tough because there's a few in the mixer. I know Fiorentina are in the relegation zone at the minute, but I do think they'll survive. So it's going to be between Cagliari, Lecce, and Genoa. I do think out of those 3 teams, Lecce are going down. I don't know why I got Lecce twice here. That's an error. Ignore that. Their squad isn't great. They lost 1-0 to Inter last night. They could have even held them to a draw. They could have done us a solid there, but they didn't. Somehow we drew to them. Yeah, we missed a penalty, I know, but still, we gave them points. It's mental to think that we gave points to 2 of these teams, bro. Yeah, I just don't think Lecce are good enough to stay in the division. They don't have the team. Anyway, survival, just about surviving. We got Cagliari, we got Genoa. I think they'll just survive, and I'm happy for them to survive. I quite like those 2 teams, and I want to see them stay in the division. Also, Fiorentina, they're just about surviving. I mean, I think they haven't lost in the last 3 games. They're starting to turn a new page in their book. It would be hilarious if Fiorentina went down. Genuinely, it would be jokes as hell. They are one of the 7 sisters. Is it good for the brand if they go down? Probably not. Would it be funny? Yes. Do I like their fans? Not so much. But yeah, their team is too good to go down. It would have been like Leicester City when they got relegated, or Fulham a few years ago when they had like Anguissa, Mitrovic, Lookman, that kind of team. This Fiorentina team can't go down, and they will just about survive. And the last 2 are quite simple. Cremonese and Parma. Both of those 2 teams. Honestly, these 2 teams here, Parma and Cremonese, have had a really, really good season so far. I've been really surprised at the way they're playing. I think Carlos Cuesta's a really good young manager and he'll get a big move soon. Parma are trying to play this attractive football, and for a lesser team, look, I respect it. And their away form is surprisingly really, really good, Parma, picking up more points away than at home. Pellegrino scoring, Bernabé I rate as well. I think he's a good young player. And Davide Nicola's team in Cremonese are also playing well this year. Yes, we battered them the other day, but we're Juventus. Let's be real, with Spalletti, we're cooking. But they got some good players across the board. Jamie Vardy, who's scoring, Bonazzoli, Aldero in goal. So now I have to rank these. I think Cagliari at the bottom there, Genoa. I'm going to go Parma, Fiorentina, Cremonese. I think Fiorentina will start to pick up a lot of points. I could even potentially change this. I think... No, I'm happy there. I'll leave Fiorentina. I think Fiorentina will be in and around this sort of position. 15th, 14th. I think they'll pick up a good amount of points till the end of the season. Moving into that 7th to 12th category. Honestly, mid-table, you had a decent little season. You just missed out on Europe for the team in 7th. It's unfortunate. 8th to 12th speaks for itself, but I think 7th is up for debate. Straight away in there, Torino, for sure. Udinese follows. Same as Sassuolo. And the last 2 teams are Bologna and Lazio for me. And there's 1 spot left, but we'll get onto that in a second. I'm going to put Sassuolo 12th, Torino 11th. Udinese 10th, mid-table. I feel like they finish there every single year. I'm then going to go Bologna over Lazio, actually, and leave it like that for now. On Sassuolo, I really like the way Grosso plays. I think they've surprised a lot of teams. Being a newly promoted team to finish in and around this spot here is genuinely super impressive. Even if they were to fall down a few places, right, their job was to stay in the Serie A, and they've done that. Well, it's not over yet, but pretty much they'll confirm survival. Berardi's still there. Lauriente I rate. Muharemovic I rate. I think Sassuolo have a good little group of players. They've taken points away from big teams this year as well. They drew to Bologna, drew to AC Milan, beat Atalanta, beat Lazio, narrowly lost to Inter. Their form in recent weeks hasn't been the same. Their next game is against Napoli, so who knows? They could take points away from them. But I've been impressed from Sassuolo. Regarding Torino now, bro, they're in this position, this sort of category here every single season. At the start of all my prediction videos, I always have them mid-table, 10th, 11th, 12th, that sort of position. They got some good goal scorers in Vlasic, Simeone, and Che Adams. If you've got 3 decent goal scorers, you're always going to finish in and around those spots. And I like Baroni as a coach. I do quite like them. They're defensively really organised as well. I went to the Juventus-Torino game and they were really solid at the back. Udinese, I got bang on mid-table. When I've watched Udinese this year, they look like a neat little team. Zaniolo's been playing well for them, which is really nice to see, actually. Davis as well, their top scorer, has been bagging. But a team that's been super disappointing for me this year has been Lazio. I feel like every single season Lazio disappoint me. I don't even like Lazio. I don't care. Like, Lazio mean nothing to me. But they just somehow disappoint me. If I was a Lazio fan, I would try and do something to get rid of the board. The Lazio board are one of the worst in the league. They genuinely don't know anything about football. They don't care about the fans. Even this January, right, they sold Castellanos, who granted actually got a lot of money for. That was good business. But they sold Guendouzi, who's been one of their best players, went to Fenerbahce. They got good money for him and he's cooking. I think he scored on his debut in Turkey for them. I think it was even a cup final he scored in. But this Lazio team, they just don't show any ambition. I think Sarri said it himself. Don't buy him the right players. Their squad is very old. They still haven't replaced Milinkovic-Savic, Luis Alberto, and those guys left a good few years ago now. Their top scorer has 3 goals. 3 goals. That's less than the top scorer of Udinese, Torino, Sassuolo. And that is Cancellari and Zaccagni tied on 3. Come on, bro. They don't have a reliable goal scorer. How can Lazio not have a reliable goal scorer? It's honestly a very sorry squad. Bologna I got in 8th, right? And I think they could potentially finish in the 7th position, but I got them 8th. Bologna I got in 8th, right? But you could swap Lazio-Bologna. That's fine. Bologna haven't won a league game since the end of November, bro. Which is worrying, but they have had a tough set of fixtures. Inter, Atalanta, Sassuolo, Como, Juventus, Inter Napoli in the Supercoppa as well, and Lazio, who they drew to. So since their last win, they've had a really tough set of fixtures. But yeah, I like the manager, I like the squad. I think Bologna will just miss out on Europe. Now, the last position is 7th. For me, it's between 2 clubs, Atalanta and Como. And I'm going to go for Como. I think Como will just miss out on Europe. Which is a shame for them, but I couldn't care less. They took points away from me. I don't like them. I like what Fabregas is doing. Of course, they have one of the best players in the league in Nico Paz, but other than that, their squad is quite low level, bro. Having said that, though, tonight they play against AC Milan. I'm not sure when this video is coming out, so either there's the result happening, has happened, or will happen. I don't know yet. But yeah, Como just missing out. European places now, and yeah, I think Atalanta and I think Roma. There we are. They're both in there. Atalanta I actually predicted to finish around here, 9th at the start of the season. And that was simply down to Juric being the coach. But smartly, they got rid of him and brought in Palladino. And their recent run of form has been very good. Let me read some out. Beat Torino 2-0, beat Bologna 2-0, beat Roma 1-0, lost to Inter 1-0, beat Genoa 1-0, beat Cagliari 2-1, also beat Chelsea in the mixer in the Champions League in that period. 6 wins in their last 7, bro. Atalanta in hot form, and they'll definitely get Europe for me. They're better than Como, they're better than Bologna, they're better than Lazio. Roma, I just have missing out on top 4, and that's because I'm not convinced with their attack. Having said that, though, Fabrizio has confirmed a few transfers for them. In Daniel Marlon from Aston Villa, and Vaz from Marseille, who I haven't watched play football. Marlon isn't a great signing in my opinion. Missing out on Raspadori, who seems like he's going to Atalanta, is a big problem for Roma. Their attacking situation at the minute is not great. They don't have a reliable goal scorer. But still, I like Gasperini. I think he's a good coach, and I think he's gotten a lot out of the players and the squad that he currently has. Now into my favourite bit, predicting the top 4 and the champion. And we got Lecce in there as well. Lecce. Alright, 4th place, AC Milan. Recently, they have not been great. Started the season really well with Allegri. They were grinding out results, and they still have been, but their squad for me is not good enough to compete for the scudetto. They drop silly points, they don't look convincing, but they're on a ridiculous unbeaten run. They still haven't lost since when they played Napoli at home all them months ago, which was like September time now, I think. But they're just scraping results, but Allegri gets results over the line. I don't like the way AC Milan have been playing. Their defense is really shaky. They need reinforcements back there. Maignan is saving them single-handedly on so many different occasions. Take the Fiorentina game at the weekend, for example. They were fortunate to get a result in that game. Without Luca Modric, the midfield lacks so much quality. It's just runners. And they still haven't gotten the best out of Leao yet this season. In 3rd, I'm going with Conte's men in Napoli. Now look, call me biased, I don't care. We're 1 point behind Napoli right now. But this Napoli team are suffering so much from injuries. Anguissa, Lukaku, Spinazzola's been injured. De Bruyne's injured. Neres is out. They have so many players out and that have been injured so far this season. It's not great for them. I said this though, the result against Inter the other day was a big result considering the injuries. They drew to Verona as well. But they're dropping too many points this season. This Napoli team aren't as good as they were last year. It's probably because they're playing in more competitions. And I think Napoli could potentially be in second, but I got them in third. Now the top two, bro, Juventus and Inter. What are we saying, guys? All bias aside, right, I'm voting Juventus second, Inter first. And I say this because I think right now we are playing the best football in Italy. I think we're the team to beat. Juventus' football right now under Spalletti has been transformed. We're playing free-flowing football, attacking football. We're creating so many chances. Since Spalletti's come in, we've had the least amount of goals conceded, most goals scored, and we're playing beautifully. We're getting the best out of so many different players. We're super positive. And I know we've had a nice run of fixtures recently. And tough fixtures are coming up. I believe that we can get over the line, bro, in those games. I'm not scared of anyone. The only reason I have Inter ahead of us is because they're 7 points clear at the minute. Look, AC Milan could beat Como tonight, and that point difference will be small, but I don't think AC Milan have the squad to compete with Inter. I think when we play Inter, we'll beat them. We're playing much better football than them. I don't think Inter is as good as they were last year. They are beatable. They're gettable, in my opinion. And I would actually say that the quality of football in Italy so far this year hasn't been incredible. It's been a carousel at the top, but I actually think that Spalletti's Juventus has played the best football out of any team so far this season. Spalletti's only lost one game against Napoli. I still believe we can potentially win the league because of the football we're playing, but we dropped too many silly points this season. Drawing to Fiorentina, drawing to Verona, drawing to Lecce, for example. Losing to Como. But not all those games were with Spalletti, that's the thing. But yeah, I do think Inter will win the league. Their points difference is just too good. They do have a very good squad. On paper, they have the best squad in Italy. It's a bit of a shame. Now, I know a lot of you watching probably won't agree with Juventus being second. But the football I'm seeing from us right now, I genuinely think right now we're the team to beat. I'm enjoying watching us. We create so many chances. We're actually just incredible to watch. If you're an unbiased Serie A fan, you'd agree that we're playing really well with Spalletti. If only we had Spalletti since the start of the season, bro. But yeah, this is my top four. Anything I'd change, I'm actually quite happy with it. Yeah, you can mix and match a few things. Maybe Napoli in second. AC Milan fans might have them a bit higher. Okay, but look, I think this is pretty accurate. Let me know in the comment section, what would you change? What are your Serie A predictions? Who is winning the league? That is the most important question. Who's winning the league? Comment it down below and make sure you sub to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video, share it to some friends. Without further ado, I'll see you in the next one.